Views expressed by Casters Guild members are only the opinions of that member, and that could change from day to day. Guild members may use mature language, but that in no way means they are mature. Listener discretion is advised.
The MCU made some controversial announcements at SDCC. I had some fun at the gaming convention that shall not be named, and independent games are replacing D&D, because that's the spell we're casting tonight on Casters Guild. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Casters Guild. I am your guild master, Rick Perry, made with no artificial preservatives.
And I'm your guild master, Baron Kane. I'm angry.
I heard you're a little upset, a little angry.
I am a little angry. I'm in my feelings about this.
Why don't you go ahead and tell our listeners why you're a little angry?
Look, you feel free to come for me. I dare you to come for me on any social media, including our emails and Discord. The whole bullshit RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Doom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so tired. Don't get me wrong, I was a huge fan of Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, right?
Right. He did a great job as Iron Man.
I wasn't
perfect Tony Stark.
Yes. I wasn't a huge Iron Man fan. And the Iron Man who was my first Iron Man, believe it or not, was Rhodey.
Mm-hmm.
So when I discovered Iron Man, Rhodey was the one wearing the armor, because we were deep in the Demon in a Bottle storyline. That was a hell of a fucking storyline to walk in on. But for him to take that character and just go with it like that,
he really made it his.
Yeah. But then I feel like he built up this entire legacy throughout birth and now of the MCU, and even still his actions as that character are having repercussions. And for him, and I don't even care about the whole dying and coming back. I was fine with Wolverine coming back. I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
But for him to come back as Doom, it's like, okay, all right, this is how I see it. The MCU wanted to make a big fucking splash. They didn't want to go with Kang anymore. The only logical person to go with, if they still wanted to do the Battle World thing, was Doom.
Right.
And they're like, well, we need to bring in someone to play Doom. Who could we bring in to play Doom? You know what? We're losing a lot of people. Let's bring in a big fucking deal. And they went with Robert Downey Jr. And they're bringing back the Russos. And I get it, they're getting away from the Kang thing, so they got rid of the Loki writers. But it's like, so the Loki writers, to make the best thing, you know what? A lot of people are like, it's the best thing since Endgame. I honestly think Loki is better than Endgame.
As the series as a whole, I agree.
I also recently saw a movie that I thought was better than Endgame too, but we'll talk about that later. And then they just want to, and it's like, they don't even have to write about Kang. Just bring him over. Bring him over and write about whatever you got. But here we got Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. And, okay, first off, as far as I know, okay, there's lots of ways that you can look at this. You can look at this as a alternate Tony Stark who became Doom, which happened.
Mm-hmm.
Except they walked his ass out there like the fucking money puppet he is and called him Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, all right, sure. But, and then on top of that, it's like, they really, really hate the Romani people. The MCU, just straight up, they hate the Romani people.
It would seem that way.
Just hates them. It's like, you had your chance right there. But now we got Robert Downey Jr. back. You couldn't even put another white guy in there for us to be like, wow, you really hate the Romani people.
It had to be that white guy.
It had to be that white guy because they didn't trust anybody else to do the job. You know what? We got this Giancarlo Esposito, right?
Mm-hmm.
He really wanted to play Magneto or Doom. He wanted to do a bunch of big... You know what we're going to do?
We're going to make him Sidewinder?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that. What do you mean who's Sidewinder? He's a member of the Serpent Society.
Look,
What do you mean, what's the Serpent Society?
before we get too much further into this, I want to say quick thoughts on my opinions on this whole thing. One, I am nowhere close to upset about RDJ playing Victor Von Doom as I am as Giancarlo Esposito being Sidewinder.
Sure.
Like, that is way more upsetting to me than any other MCU news.
Oh, I will say this. I think that all in all, that one pissed me off worse, too.
But
They better not fucking kill him either.
If anybody's gonna make it a good performance, it's gonna be him. And, like, it's gonna be everybody's new favorite character. Which, the MCU... It's kind of their whole shtick at this point, is taking unknown characters and making them people's favorite characters.
Sure, like Batroc the Leaper? Oh, I fucking love him. What do you mean you don't remember who Batroc the Leaper is? What do you mean?
I don't.
Damn it.
But, that being said, I still don't understand why they had to get rid of Kang the Conqueror. I understand having to get rid of the actor.
Sure.
But the whole thing they've got going on with the MCU right now is anybody can be anybody.
Right.
So, like, why not just change the actor?
Well, here's what I think is funny, right? So we have Chadwick Boseman, rest his soul, dies, and they don't replace him. One could be like, you know what? We're respecting Chadwick, except for the fact that he wanted to be replaced, and we're denying the MCU of another talented black actor that could have filled the role.
Yeah.
Then we have Kang, who does something, the actor does something bad. We need to replace him, sure. Okay, we just won't use him anymore when we could have replaced him with another talented black actor. Granted, we did get a new roadie, but we also, it's also like, we have no problem replacing Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah. Just
and then,
up and did it. No problem.
And then if you really want to look at it, we replaced Kang with a white guy. And it's Robert Downey Jr.
And it's not like they have problems letting actors play more than one character.
Right.
I mean, just look at Evans now. It's now canon.
Hold on.
It's now canon. Just saying.
Hold on, by the way. I also want to go into these false fucking equivalents that people are dropping out there about, he's played, other people played too. Hold on. I
want to be clear. I'm not defending RDJ choice. I'm saying you could have had somebody else play Kang, or because you're so fast and loose with your casting at this point.
You opened the door and I saw people on the other side.
Yes, yeah.
So, but what about Chris Evans? He's playing Captain America and he was Johnny Storm. Yeah, in the Fox universe. It was a completely different universe, you fucking bunghole.
Yeah, it's just it is canon now.
Now, yes. But it wasn't.
Yes, that is correct.
And then you got all these other people who were like, or even better, when they're like, oh, what about this person? He was this person in DC. Please exit the room.
Yeah, if you're talking about DC at all, like, get the fuck out.
So it's like,
I think the only one before, no, because even that, it was Fox back then. I was going to make the Brolin argument, but like even Deadpool was Fox at that point in time. Yeah, I don't think they had any double casting officially in the MCU until they bought Fox.
No, they did. It was what's her name? Gemma? Is it Gemma? Gemma Chan? Anyway, she was in Eternals.
Ah, okay.
And then she was also one of the Kree bad guys as well.
Okay.
But when they do double casts like that, or like they gave Michelle Yeoh, they mentioned her too, but she was one of the Ravagers, and then she was also the chick in Shang-Chi. And it's like, okay, but they're not
headliners.
Robert fucking Downey Jr.
Yeah, it's not Iron Man and Doom.
Yeah, it's like, no offense to these other actors, but you're taking the biggest fucking hero in the MCU, played by the biggest actor in the MCU. Now he's coming back to play the biggest fucking bad guy? Not counting Thanos, I'm just talking about this face.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, the only way that I will accept this at all is if it's just one of those, yes, he's obviously a Stark
variant,
and there's a twist to this. and we get a real Doom in the midst of all this.
Yeah.
Like God Emperor Doom comes out and he's like, "Hi, I'm God Emperor Doom. That Doom is dead now. Sorry about that." Boop, 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 boop. I don't know. I definitely feel like they do tend to make decisions that cause me to question a lot of things.
I do want to say, I don't disagree with anything you've said.
And it's okay. And I will say it's okay if you do.
But I don't care. Like, I just
also,
don't care. At
God,
this point,
I wish I didn't care. God,
at this point, I am so lost in, like, the comic book bullshit of it all that, like, they could do literally anything. And as long as I sit down at the movie and I find the movie enjoyable, I don't give a fuck.
I think that my biggest thing would have been, like, obviously I know I would never get the role, but, like, I'm thinking of, oh, man, what if I was an actor? And I was like, you know what? Lordy, I would sure love to play Dr. Doom. I'm going to go audition. What do you mean you can't audition? Because you've already chosen the motherfucker that's had his chance in the MCU?
Yeah, there is that. There is that. But at the same time, it's like, it's Disney. We can't ever expect them to do the ethical thing.
Fair.
So it's either, when it comes to the MCU, it's either just, you know, be along for the ride or be pissed. And I've got so many other things I'm pissed at this point that I'm just like, fuck it, do what you're gonna do. And I'm not saying you're wrong for being upset. I'm just saying that's where I'm at this point.
No. And don't get me wrong. I'm also mad about all of this other stuff too. Yeah. I've just been a roiling ball of rage for the last few years.
Since about around 2017, 2016.
Yeah.
It's funny how that's about the same time for just about everybody.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just all of that. It's just all this stuff in there. I mean, I guess we'll see. You know, we got a lot of people that are like, "Oh, just give it a chance. Wait and see where they go with it. You know, it may not be as bad as you think it is." And it's like, you're right, it might not be. And if it's not, I'll be the first person to be like, "You know what, I was wrong. Mm-hmm. You're wrong. You're right. I was wrong." It's like, I'm not going to backpedal. I'm not going to do any of this shit. I'm going to own up to it and be like, I was wrong.
Right.
But you also have to give me, based off the information that I have been given at this point in time, it's a little fucked up.
Yeah, it is. It is a little fucked up.
The only worst thing is if they would have Tropic Thundered him and let him play Kang. That would have been the worst thing.
Ooh. If they didn't. Oh.
We all know that they wouldn't. We like to think that they wouldn't, but for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Yeah.
They might have let him do it in Deadpool. Like,
the more you say things, the more I'm like, yeah. I'm honestly, at this point, surprised that they didn't.
That would have been fucked.
Deadpool pulled 0 punches.
Yeah. I do think it would have been funny. I see this going around. I do think it'd be funny if they'd bring back Terrence Howard as Kang.
Yeah.
In case anybody doesn't know, he's the original Rhodey.
Yeah.
So if they brought him back as Kang...
They would just do that to fuck with us at this point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That would be 100% just to fuck with the audience.
Yep.
But, you know what? As long as we're somewhat on the topic, I did see Deadpool right before I left for the gaming convention I just went to.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not terribly disappointed.
I was trying to hold out. I had a particular time I was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like to go for. I didn't have a set time, but I knew I wanted to wait for certain events to come together for me to go see it.
Right.
And then Monday, the weekend after it came out, apparently that's when they were like, you know what? Opening weekend's over. We're allowed to show spoilers now. I saw every spoiler.
No, not every spoiler. Really?
I'm pretty fucking... Give me a second.
Because I didn't see it until, like, last Tuesday. And I managed to avoid most spoilers. I've managed to avoid all spoilers, actually. I didn't know anything going into that movie.
The end credit scene didn't get spoiled.
Okay.
I'm serious. I think just about every single one of them got spoiled.
Oh, well, that blows.
Even the identity of Kidpool.
Oof.
Yeah. I don't know what, and I wasn't even looking for it. That's the fucked up part.
that's when it's really messed up.
I'm like on Twitter and I'm like flipping through and then like something pops up like, oh shit. Well, there it is. Then I'll flip over to Instagram and I'm like, well, I can't trust Twitter anymore. Flip through. Oh, god damn it.
Just know that anybody listening right now, if you come here, you should expect spoilers. So the fact that we're talking about the Deadpool movie right now, we're going to talk about it and shit's going to get spoiled.
Right. Yeah, well, like I spoiled one thing and I think that they were in the credits.
Yeah.
Or not the credits, the trailers. So, man, I really think that everything got spoiled.
Yeah, that's terrible. I'm so sorry that happened to you. That blows. Because I went in blind and I was so happy I did.
I mean, Disney even spoiled one thing.
Oh yeah? What was that? Which one?
They shouldn't have revealed Daphne Keene that quickly.
No, probably not.
They should have let that sit, let people come and watch it. Yeah. God damn, I really am trying to think about what didn't get spoiled. Now, obviously, I didn't know there are parts of the plot that I didn't know about, but I don't consider those spoilers. Those it's just, every actor that was in it. Oh my god, big spoiler. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Not only was it revealed which Juggernaut it was also revealed that Vinnie Jones wasn't going to play him, and it was the body double from Free Guy. Big. All of that was fucking ruined. So it's like, oh.
So like every character reveal and every actor playing the character, that every single one of those was done for you.
Yep. In different ways. Yep.
That's fucked.
Yep.
Okay, so now that like we know they all got spoiled for you, what was your favorite?
Oh, that's a good one. You know who my least favorite was? I'll tell you who my least favorite was. Headpool.
Okay.
Headpool was my least favorite because the Headpool that I knew was like a nasty, gross fucking zombie head. Like, it was just nasty and flies are coming off of it.
I'm pretty sure it was toned down just so it could be a popcorn bucket.
I've also seen it like that in the comics.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was leading up to this or whatever. But okay, so my favorite.
Hold on, my least favorite.
Yeah.
Calvulrine.
Who?
Henry Cavill as Wolverine.
Oh, really? You didn't like that?
No, I mean, like, I'm sorry. Okay.
I just think it's funny how he fucking punched him through a wall.
Maybe there's just something going on that makes me extra salty, but I'm so tired of Henry Cavill, just in general. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, he comes off to me, and, like, look, I don't know the guy. My opinion could be entirely off base. He comes off to me as, like, the elitist type of nerd.
Okay.
That's like, oh, well, if you don't think the way I think about my nerdy hobbies, then your opinion just can go get flushed down the toilet.
Sure. I will tell you this. I do have that same opinion about some nerds out there that I believe that I would have people tell me that I'm just like Joe Manganiello,
Manganiello.
Yep. Yeah, him. He comes off as like that to me. But I'm sure that there are people who have met him that would be like, no, he's cool.
Yeah, I didn't get that vibe.
Yeah, see?
But yeah, and like, it just, the fact that like he keeps like ditching roles to get other ones, and I don't know, it's like, just stick with your characters, just let somebody else get those other characters. Like, you don't have to, like, just like you were saying with RDJ just a second ago. Yeah. Like, it's like you were The Witcher and you like tossed that away because you might have gotten a chance to play something in a Space Marine thing, and then that got canceled. Like,
I do think that there was more to it than that. I believe that they were having a lot of arguments on set.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
It's just I'm just tired of seeing the man, I guess.
Sure.
But anyway, your favorite.
Okay, my favorite. Okay. Man, I'll tell you what. Like, I really liked seeing X20 or Laura, Daphne Keene's character, come back.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because I would love to see her come into the MCU and become a big time player.
That'd be pretty fantastic.
And I was really close to saying Gambit.
Gambit's mine. Immediately. Tatum is Gambit, and the fact, like, the work he obviously put into that character, like, I'll and the constant jokes about him, like, wanting to be Gambit and just like never getting the chance until just now.
Right. Oh, that one part made me super fucking sad. when they were like, oh, some of us, kind of faded into obscurity, and he was like, some of us never had a chance to be known.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, but Blade.
Blade's your favorite?
Blade was my favorite. Not because, he was a big surprise, or, oh, I'm surprised they got him. No, it was his fucking lines to that whole thing was gold. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
It was so fucking good.
He was 100% his character.
He was 100% his character with a lot of I don't give a shit thrown in, which is why I think I liked him a lot. Oh my god.
Which is exactly what I'd expect of Blade, the character, specifically the version of Blade that Wesley Snipes has played throughout the years. It's exactly the attitude I'd expect him to have if he were lost in that void for however long.
There was also a really, really quick Blade 3 joke thrown in by Deadpool too.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for that one.
Great. Also, the really quick Daredevil joke that was thrown in was fucking great. No, it's okay. Oh yeah, no. I liked the cameos. I will say that I liked this better than Endgame.
I don't want to immediately contest that, but at the same time, I don't know if I can stand behind that or not. I think I'd have to go watch Endgame again in order to confirm or deny that particular opinion. I do love that the whole thing was basically like a love letter and saying goodbye.
Oh, that
the Fox universe.
That mid credit scene was. Oh, I teared up.
Yeah,
I teared up.
But yeah, I don't think it could have been a better movie.
No, there was a weird CG, a weird CGI scene at the back of the bus that made me feeling a little weird. But it makes me wonder what they were thinking on that one. But
yeah,
sure.
All right, just so we can get to the rest of some of these things that were announced at San Diego Comic-Con, I do want to kind of speed run some of these MCU ones because there was some stuff that's not MCU. But I do want to get your opinion specifically on Thunderbolts Asterisk.
I'm having a hard time really, really forming an opinion about it. Mostly because it feels to me don't get me wrong, Thunderbolts, it was a thing. It actually existed, however, I really feel like they are going more for a Suicide Squad feel to it.
Agreed.
Than what the Thunderbolts actually was. And the Thunderbolts originally was, hey, we're these bad guys who are trying to get a bid for power by pretending to be good guys when there are no good guys left.
Right.
Because all the good guys had disappeared and they were there and they're like, we're filling in this hole and we're gonna become a big deal. But I do like who's in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a good cast.
Yeah, and I would like to see Taskmaster get a chance to be something other than what they gave them in the movie of Black Widow.
Yeah, that was kind of shitty.
But yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I'm mid about it.
I do kind of hope that what we've seen come out of the MCU recently and with Deadpool and everything like that this will be a new era of character exploration for the MCU.
Yeah,
that whether they explore the characters in the way we want to, you know what I mean? Maybe they won't always do that, but I do at least want them to explore every named character we get rather than just throwing a bad guy on the screen and being like, oh yeah, you know who that was that guy, and it's like, oh well, I wouldn't have known that if you hadn't told me, because there was nothing about the character in the actual movie.
Mm-hmm. But this is definitely going to be I'm willing to wait and see.
Yeah, but there's that. We got a subtitle for Fantastic Four.
That should be fun. That what they showed looked fun.
We've seen. Honestly, we didn't get a ton more out of the new Captain America than we already kind of knew from trailers we've seen before, except that, maybe we'll get some. Maybe they'll actually acknowledge the Eternals now, because they've just kind of been ignoring that giant thing coming up out of the ocean since the Eternals came out, and now they might actually acknowledge it. We'll see.
I mean, they're flying around it, so I would like to think that they're going to acknowledge it. The leading theory, the word was mentioned in footage that was shown at San Diego Comic-Con, I believe, was adamantium. And either they are getting adamantium from this, or they're going to be able to mix it with something to make adamantium. So
that makes sense to me.
They are definitely stepping into it. So that kind of makes me wonder if the whole battle world thing doesn't merge a bunch of worlds together and bring us the X-Men. It makes me wonder if the whole Wolverine thing isn't going to just happen now.
Yeah.
So like he's being made now.
So we get a new Wolverine because they get a bunch of adamantium and covered, the new Wolverine skeleton in adamantium. And
now, and the idea, I would imagine, there would still be mutants. I am chomping at the bit to figure out how they're going to figure this out.
I mean, they've already acknowledged mutants in the MCU at this point.
Yes, and they are new. They seem to be fresh.
Yeah.
That's the issue I'm seeing.
I mean, it just gives them the opportunity to explore the origin story of every mutant at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to be one of those things where mutants weren't new. We just didn't know they were a thing until now. And they've done a really good job of hiding up until now. And we're going to see a whole new wave of people discovering their powers.
That's what I think they are leading up to now. Yes.
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying that's the way it should be handled. Just saying that's
right.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I see.
Right.
But that being said, moving away from the MCU and over to DC, we got a new trailer for The Penguin, the series on HBO.
Yeah. I'm a little weirded out by how DC is handling things right now, because that's like one of those, they're making a new world, so let's go ahead and focus on that new world. But then I'm also of the Elseworlds theory, like maybe they shouldn't have a central storyline, and maybe we should have a bunch of non-connected stories.
Yeah.
But so I'm not sure what they plan on doing.
I think at this point, a general audience, though, is expecting connected stories because of the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think I've always supported your Elseworlds theory in that that's how they should handle it.
Be nice.
But over on the animated side of DC, which we all know that the animated DC kicks ass.
So fucking.
We got Creature Commandos.
Yeah, I will say that is based off of something. I believe. Yes. Okay. Yep. I had to look it up. It is based off of Frankenstein, Agent of Shade.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's what this is. Just want to make sure that there's not another comic. Yeah, well, anyways, there was a storyline going around called Frankenstein, Agent of Shade. And they have a lot of the characters who are in the cartoon that you saw in this.
Right.
And I don't know what Shade is. God, I wish I had my buddy Maxwell in here. He knows all about these guys, and I'm just kind of having to look it up. But yeah, so Agents of Shade is kind of like Creature Commandos. They are like every comic I'm seeing has like Frankenstein, and just different monsters. It looks like even the Creeper made it in there. That's crazy. Anyways, so
either way, shit looks dope. Like, yeah. I watched that trailer and I was like, I'm in.
I'm
definitely going to watch it.
Hell yeah.
And not because I think this is going to be some, cinema changing movie, or because I think like this is the direction DC should go and everything should be like this. I think it's a standalone, awesome looking movie that I'm going to have fun watching, which is what a lot of DC animation is. And what I think DC should be focusing on. I feel like DC and Sony, I feel the same way about both of those right now, where it's like, how are you fucking killing it in animation, and then your live action stuff just isn't hitting, and yet you're not just 100% focusing on animation at this point.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they should definitely have been like, you know what, let's just give up on the live action shit, the cartoons. And I think the problem there is they're probably not making the money they want on cartoons. they see movies and they're like, we need to make that movie money, and they're not.
Right.
So yeah, that's my thought.
But as long as it was Comic-Con, let's at least talk about one comic book that got announced at Comic-Con.
No.
Spider-Man Isekai.
Okay.
So Spider-Man and Doctor Doom end up on, an interdimensional train, which
Sure.
I find fucking hilarious that it's an interdimensional train. Because anytime somebody wants to make the joke about an isekai, it's either Truck-kun or the interdimensional train. And they get thrown into Ultraman's universe. And we're going to see Spider-Man team up with Ultraman against Doom and a bunch of kaiju.
Which begs me to ask, do you think that we are going to get a appearance by the Spider-Man mech?
If we don't see Leopleurodon, I'm going to be pissed.
Is it Leopardon or Leopard?
You know what?
Leopardon.
I don't know. Either way.
Leopardon is the magical animal that Charlie is searching for.
I mean, it's an actual dinosaur, but either way, if we don't see it, I'm gonna be pissed. Even if it's just like literally like Ultraman's trying to find a mech for like Spider-Man to pilot, and like he's just like flipping through a bunch of mechs, and like he sees that one and goes no, and just swipes past it. I'm still fine. As long as they acknowledge it, I'm good.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the only way I'll be happy with it. But I mean, yeah, that's two of my favorite things: Spider-Man and Isekai.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge Ultraman fan. God, please come at me, bro. At this point, I feel like I should just be saying controversial stuff just to get people to come to the Discord and talk shit.
And come at you.
Yeah.
If we had enough people come at you, I would make an entire come at you episode where I would bring all these people on just so they could come at you.
Yeah. Fucking dare you. And then, like,
Guildmaster Baron takes on all comers. Wait.
Oh, wait. Only on OnlyFans. Wait, huh? But yeah, I forgot what I was talking about now. Jesus. We went left field on that.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's basically where we're going to go for the rest of these. Mortal Kombat 1 has announced a new DLC.
Sure.
We're getting Cyrax, Sector, Noob Saibot, the Terminator T-1000, specifically from T2 Judgment Day, Ghostface from Scream, and Conan the Barbarian.
Sure. I am not a huge Mortal Kombat fan, so I am here nor there, but that's big news.
Yeah, the other big deal is that they're bringing in animalities, which is not something we got in the base game, so that'll be pretty cool.
That's funny. All
right, I'm gonna leave this one up to you, but there was a lot of Star Trek news that came out of Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so there was more than one headline, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I'll let you tell me all about that because I am not the Star Trek fan.
All right, so let's go with the good first. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Yep. I'm always fucking hyped about Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. They released a clip. It's pretty funny, especially if like you are into the whimsy and the silly that Star Trek: Strange New Worlds has to offer.
Sure.
Did not think that they could get Pine's hair any higher, but yeah, here we are. And honestly, as silly as the clip seemed, it was kind of emotional because they're definitely touching on Spock's mixed heritage and how he is not accepted by humans as human, even though he's half human, but he's also not accepted by Vulcans as Vulcan because he's half human.
Of course.
So, yeah, and I think that there are a lot of people that could probably relate to that.
Absolutely.
So it was kind of like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
And then the other show coming out is Section 31. Section 31. I'm not a big fan of the whole Section 31 thing. I believe it is Section 31. But the idea is Section 31... The only good thing I think that this has going for it is that it has Michelle Yeoh, but I just don't like Section 31 in my Star Trek. Because Section 31, so you got Star Trek, right? It's hopeful, it's bright, it's positive, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that, right? Now, granted, you're going to have your corrupted officials, you're going to have this and that, but they're there to be overcome. So yeah, there's that.
Right.
Section 31 is the dark, mean killing machine that is there to keep all that bright and happy and positive. So that's their idea, is that, these guys exist so that Star Trek can be like it is. So
yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah,
I'm not even a huge Star Trek fan, but I feel like that kind of perverts the entire point of the show.
It does. And I will say that it also goes into the whole, like you have your Star Wars, where you have the Jedi who are noble and this and that and this and that. But then it would be like, well, that's why they have Sith working for them, so that they can get the dirty stuff done, so that they can keep their hands clean. And it's like, that's such a cop-out.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me a little bit of some of the directions that the Acolyte went in.
Okay. I haven't finished it, but I can see where you're talking about.
Yeah, because the idea behind the Acolyte is that the Jedi aren't what the Jedi claim to be a lot of the time, or at least a large amount of them are when it comes to the Council. So, and they're kind of a sweep things under the rug type of organization in order to maintain their own power. And I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. It feels like one of those situations where in real life, I have good things.
Mm-hmm.
But the only reason why I have good things is because bad things happen to people.
Yeah.
And that's true. And I already feel that. I know that. I don't want to go into my fantasy world and have it be the same way.
Yeah.
I'm not reading nonfiction. I'm not watching nonfiction. I'm reading fantasy because I want to escape. I don't want my fantasies of a better world to be tainted by the real world. Even though, it's going to happen. That's just a thing.
There are fantasies where those kind of tropes belong.
Yes.
But I feel like there's a group of edgelords that go around to every fucking popular thing and go, but what if it was dark? Mm-hmm. And it's you don't have to do that for everything. Especially if you're going to take that and make it canon. I could see if you're doing your own what if type of story, and you know what, if I don't want to engage with that, I can just that's not my story. I don't like that. I'm not going to read your book. I'm not going to watch your movie. That's for a different audience. But when you got to make it canon, it's not everything has to be this gritty fucking dark reality.
Right. Or a reality that's held up by that gritty dark reality, which I feel is even worse. Yeah.
Because then it becomes, we had this thing that wasn't the gritty dark reality thing, and you're choosing to pervert it. And it's that's even worse than it being gritty and dark just in general.
And I think it's even worse in Star Trek.
Yes.
It is very much hey, this is how the future could be. The future is going to be better. We have, we have equality. We have non-scarcity. We're able to pursue lives of leisure or any kind of thing that we can pursue that we want. And it's again, nope, can't have that.
Of all the worlds to possibly do that to, leave fucking Star Trek alone.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there are some other worlds where that would like Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
That exists.
I expect it to be there in Cyberpunk, yeah.
Yes. It's we need to know that exists, because that Cyberpunk is supposed to be shedding a light on that darkness. This is why things are fucked up now.
Exactly.
So, yeah, but I could go on forever.
Well, we got a couple other things from San Diego Comic-Con to cover, but do you know where you could find better t-shirts than the ones you can find at San Diego Comic-Con?
I think so.
At tvillain.com.
Right. T-Villain is a t-shirt site where you'll find a killer limited edition shirt being sold for $13 only while supplies last. Every Monday, the site features a new design by a new artist. We would tell you what's featured right now, but by the time you hear this, it's already changed.
They choose the most ingenious designs that reflect everything evil and villainy, as well as works pertaining to anything artistic, pulp style, lowbrow, pop culture, TV, movies, music, video games, comics, etc. All things cool and evil, basically. To check them out and help out Casters Guild, click our link in the description.
Also, we have one more Star Trek thing. It is the final season of Lower Decks. Sad face. Lower Decks.
Happy face because you're getting another season. Sad face because it's the swan song.
Yeah. But then again, it's the happy face because it's the swan song because it's probably going to go the fuck off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was so happy. So happy with this series. And it is silly. It is, as far as I'm concerned, not canon. And it's just a funny break. And now, I'm sure there's someone out there that is like, you know what? That's not what Star Trek is. Star Trek isn't supposed to be goofy, parody, funny. And just like, you know what? You're probably right. You're probably right. For you, that's what it is. For me,
but unlike the other thing we were just complaining about, you could just write this off as non-canon.
Right. But even though I have kind of written off Discovery and as not
as your own headcanon.
I've even written Strange New Worlds off as not canon.
We have a thing for that, Guildmaster Baron.
Oh, that's true. What could it be?
If you want to take something that's fanon and make it canon,
wait, I know what it is. Wait. Is it a guild decree?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Hold on.
Take your time and craft it. But you know how you want to spend it this episode. You know how you want to spend it.
I'm going to craft it. And I'm going to make my son proud. I'm going to make my son proud with this one. That's my goal. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Well, while you work on that, we did get a test clip from the new Mighty Nine animated series.
I mean, that's just going to be good. It's going to be good.
Yes.
I don't think we have any kind of doubt on that.
Legend of Vox Machina was good. We did see the season 3 clip out of that, but there's no surprises there.
Right.
But to see the test clip out of the Mighty Nine, I was not expecting to see that, and it looks fantastic.
Fantastic.
And I'm very excited to watch it.
Yeah. You know what? I would probably I'm kind of even hoping that they do a cartoon series of Bell's Hells, because that might be the only way that I watch it.
Why the fuck not?
Yeah, why not? I bet it'd be fun.
There was a trailer for The Crow. It's a thing that happened.
Moving on.
We did get a little bit about season 2 of Rings of Power.
I'm excited. I don't care what anybody says. I like that show.
Yeah,
I like that show. You know what? I hope it gets more woke. I hope it gets as woke as it can get.
The first headline I saw about this was Rings of Power Season 2 is a win for better gender representation in Middle-earth.
Okay.
So,
I don't know what that means, but...
Yeah, so let's you know what? I hope it does get more woke. Especially, I hope it really pisses off those fascists in Italy.
Oh yeah, fuck you fascists in Italy.
Legacy of Kain maybe getting remasters? Maybe? I don't know if you ever played any of the Legacy of Kain games. Soul Reaver.
Not much. I maybe played a little bit of the first one.
I know there are people who are diehard fans of that series. I know there are people who in the guild who are diehard fans of that series who have done streams of the entire series.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be really cool if we do see some remasters out of that. Maybe that'll be more likely that I end up playing the entire series. We got a trailer for Transformers 1.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was not interested in this movie at all.
Correct.
I was just like, it's coming out. Maybe I'll see it for free at some point in time when it's on streaming.
Right.
This trailer has started working its way into winning me over.
Okay.
Like, I might actually want to see this movie. I think I need to see a little bit more out of it, especially if I just kind of do what I do with a lot of remakes and, like, newer series where I just go, this is its own thing. I can still enjoy the old thing separately from this thing. Mm-hmm. One thing I can say with almost complete confidence is that it's going to be better than anything Michael Bay has ever done.
Sure. I will say this, though. They have movies like Transformers 1 that are happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then Star Trek Prodigy is a TV show that got canceled. And it's like, it's the same fucking quality of show.
Yeah.
Except they have maybe higher paid voice actors in the movie.
Yeah.
It's weird to me because they look quality-wise almost the exact same.
Yeah, I will never understand some of the reasoning behind decisions when it comes to the movie business.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's money moving around in the background that we don't get to know about that makes these decisions make more sense for the people who are making them.
I will say that we do have one movie to thank for both of those, that TV show and the Transformers.
And what's that?
Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Or Enter the Spider-Verse, or whatever was the first one.
Yeah.
The Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah.
That movie inspired so many things.
I could 100% agree with that. And I'm not mad about it at all.
No, I'm not mad at it either. It's a very easy to consume art style, while at the same time being, I think there's a lot of depth to that art style as well. And for it to really be shown, I almost hope, or I almost wish that shows were required to credit the show that it's been inspired by. Because sometimes it's just like, oh, we're not even trying on this one, are we, guys?
You know what? I like that idea. I do like that idea. All right, leaving San Diego Comic-Con and heading to another convention. I recently attended a major gaming convention that I will not name simply because I don't like what they did to the Crit Awards, but that doesn't mean I didn't have fun, and that doesn't mean that things didn't happen that I don't want to talk about. I'm just not going to credit the convention itself at all and simply credit the people who were there.
Okay, feel free if I accidentally say it, just bleep me out with dolphin noises.
Sure. All right.
So every time I say you have to bleep me out with dolphin noises.
You just made my job so much harder. I'm going to do it, though. I am going to do it. You think I won't? All right.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Maybe with the whole JD Vance stuff, it shouldn't be a dolphin.
We'll settle it. We'll settle on a noise by the end of it. Leave it. We're doing it live.
Ouch. Woo.
Okay, so first things first, I was there to volunteer for True Dungeon. We have sung their praises a ton on this podcast. They were fantastic once again. I even had some problems at the convention when it came to some of my hotel accommodations and kind of fucked up my badge. Okay. And True Dungeon took care of all of that for me. So they're a wonderful organization to volunteer for. I look forward to doing it for many more years. If you want to get to these kind of conventions and don't have a way to do it financially, I would recommend, if you're listening to this, tdvols.com. I'll put a link in the description. Consider volunteering for True Dungeon. The next thing I'm going to say is very up in the air right now, but next year, 2025, True Dungeon's entire theming is going to be like a Viking theming.
Oh, shit.
They're adding new saga powers because this is their new Viking saga, so this is the first time they're really doing a big new saga. They're adding saga powers to all of the classes that have to do with the Viking thing. So
this just really makes me wish that this is something we could do at home. Like, do True Dungeon at home. Maybe not with the props.
But you can.
Let me finish my joke. Then you can... You were supposed to let me finish my joke.
Finish it.
Yes. You're right, you can. It makes me want to LARP so bad.
Yeah. So, this entire upcoming year in 2025, the virtual True Dungeon, which you can do from home, will be all Viking stuff. And it looks like in the future, in years when they do new sagas, we'll get new saga powers for each of the classes. That will change with each saga. And with virtual True Dungeon, I am currently in talks with a couple people over at True Dungeon and playing a character for virtual True Dungeon.
Nice.
Where I will actually go to Carbondale, where they, film and run Virtual True Dungeon. And I would play one of the new characters in this new saga. So, and then possibly at Gen Con, play that character live. So, fingers crossed. And it works a whole lot like when I volunteer for conventions where they're going to be paying for my hotel and giving me a stipend and all that kind of good stuff. So I love these guys.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
Couple other things that happened at that convention. I did run into one Ivan von Norman again. Let him know about our Daggerheart actual play, which he was very excited to go listen to. He did confirm that he did listen to our Candle Obscura playthrough.
Hey. Nice.
And he was very unsurprised at some of the things that we had to make up because they weren't in the playtest. He was like, yeah, it was a playtest. He's like, that's all stuff we planned on fleshing out once the full rules came out. And he was like, I liked where your heads were at as far as making some of the stuff up.
That makes me feel real good.
Yeah. But probably going to be listening to the Daggerheart one, and then I may be doing some things for him as far as he wants some people to talk about Daggerheart on video. So I might be doing some things on that, and then he said he might even be coming on the podcast as like an exchange.
Sweet.
So look forward to that. And if not, Ivan's company before he worked for Darrington Press, the one he still owns and still writes the checks for, Hunter's Entertainment. We're definitely going to be talking to them on the podcast very soon.
Nice.
I did run into the developers for Eat the Reich.
Nice.
I let them know we're going to be doing an actual play for their stuff, and I handed them my card, and they were like, yes, let me get your email, because they plan on sending us some stuff to use in that actual play. So that's pretty cool. We're going to be excited about that, so look forward to that actual play coming up in episodes in the future. I got to play some TCGs. I got to see my Mr. House Commander deck go off a little bit. I did not win the pod, but still had fun with it. I did win some things in a casual Keyforge tournament. It was a sealed, kind of thing, so everybody was coming in with the deck they weren't experienced with, but, I did pretty well in that. I overall just had a good time at the convention just working for True Dungeon, and I look forward to doing it again in the future. And just kind of gave out a lot of cards, ran into some exciting network opportunities. I want to say that Eat the Reich even won one of the major awards at the convention.
I think so too.
Just double checking here.
Mm-hmm. I was too.
It won multiple awards, actually. It took home gold medals for Best Art Cover and Best Art Interior, as well as Best Adventure Short Form. So 3 awards it got. So yeah, look forward to us playing that game soon, because it got a lot of awards and it is pretty fucking awesome. I also picked up the starter kit for Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and I picked up a bundle for Kobold Ate My Baby.
Our last guest was wanting that, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means it is available now?
Mm-hmm. I did run into like a large amount of convention where people just like talking about picking up the new D&D Player's Handbook, which I have chosen not to do. And
I have some follow-up news at that after you're done with this.
And they did an actual play live at Gen Con using that book that featured, Abria Iyengar, Brendan Lee Mulligan, a couple of the voice actors from Baldur's Gate 3, which, all of these things make me want to engage with the new D&D content. I just wish Wizards of the Coast weren't a bunch of assholes.
Following up on that, Wizards of the Coast is putting out a couple of job descriptions that they want filled. Mm-hmm. So if anybody is looking for a career at Wizards of the Coast, they are looking for a principal AI engineer.
Motherfuckers.
And, you ready for this one? Mm-hmm. I actually kind of hate this one more. A monetization designer.
Holy shit. I wish they need to burn in a fire. I fucking hate this shit.
You ready?
Yeah.
As a monetization designer on Dungeons and Dragons Digital, So they are very specifically wanting it for Dungeons & Dragons. You will play a key role in driving revenue growth through your expertise in product pricing, content oversight, and product analytics. You will collaborate with cross-functional teams to develop and implement monetization strategies that optimize player engagement and satisfaction while achieving business objectives.
Fuck them.
So yeah, so all you YouTubers out there, like, I was going to make the joke on tonight's podcast before I saw these. I was going to make the joke, hey, fuck Wizard of the Coast, but hey, if you want to pay us like you did those YouTubers to push your product, I will happily do it. At this point, I don't even think I would, because that's fucking ridiculous. I'm pretty much going to go indie from this point on. I'm done with Dungeons & Dragons. I will play stuff that I already have.
Exactly.
I will not be buying into any of their new stuff. I will definitely not be getting a D&D Beyond subscription again to play any of their stuff.
Yeah.
They're just like, no, we're not going to do that, and then just leaned into it.
They are quickly becoming the EA of the tabletop world, which is
and then that kind of makes me wonder,
not what we want.
That kind of makes me wonder, like, why is Brendan Lee Mulligan and Abria Iyengar leaning into it that much? Why are I'm sure they're getting paid.
Yeah.
But again, you look at all the stuff that Brendan's supposed to stand for, and it's like,
I'm wondering if there isn't a contract somewhere that was signed that, like, they have to fulfill.
Maybe. And you know what? If that's the case, and they're doing it with the smile on their face, then they're doing the job. They're doing what they signed up for. That's fine. I'm not saying that people should break their contracts or anything like that,
right?
Unless you want to. But I don't know. Oh, and then Sam Reich, right? We know who that is. Sam Reich.
Yeah.
Sam Reich. He put up a post seeking a sponsor for an episode of Game Changer. What I can offer: meaningful, lighthearted, fun brand integration in one episode of season 7 in exchange for $50,000 to $100,000, though I will probably end up going with the highest bidder. Interested? Get at me. Fucking Wizards of the Coast. With the Magic the Gathering brand specifically. We've been here the whole time. Let's chat. Please send us an email at creators@wizards.com. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I hope that Sam doesn't go with them, because there are so many better people that they can put on that goddamn thing.
100%. Unless the whole reason Sam is doing it is to, like, this is like the sellout episode. Like, we're looking specifically for a sponsor because, like, this is the sellout episode, and like they just, like, kind of dunk on the sponsor the entire time. Okay, that would be funny. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, a lot of fucking shenanigans going on right now that I fucking hate. Yeah. Ivan, if you're listening to this one, we're going to be looking at your stuff instead of
look, yeah,
watching.
Ivan, man. Ivan, I'm not expecting Ivan to go back and listen to all our shit. Yeah. But I hope he knows how much hope we're putting into Daggerheart. Yeah. How much hope we're putting into Candela Obscura, because Candela Obscura, great game. I have it. Daggerheart, I'm going to get it. It's a great game. Yep. But I want that to be my gaming experience going forward. Yeah. On
Chris,
top of the indie games that I'm going to get and stuff. But
Chris over at 9th Level, we're looking at you too. I haven't dug too far into mazes, but if mazes is using that polymorph system, I mean, like, it's pretty fucking cool. I haven't been able to get into the maze because there's kobolds blocking the entrance right now. But kobolds, the excellence, like, all that stuff is looking fucking sweet. And as far as all you indie guys out there, like, doing things like Eat the Reich and other things that you're going to see us playing real soon, you've obviously, you're up there on the list too. And since you brought it up, if there's anybody listening that wants to play in one of my kobolds games, let me know. I'm going to run a bunch of them, and I will probably put them online. They probably won't be very long, but I have things in mind, and I need to run games of it so that I can get it going. Yeah, we're probably going to be doing a lot of X-Pro plays in the future, especially of, like, indie and smaller stuff. And if you are a player who can commit to a particular date or time, we pretty much are looking for you right now. So hit us up.
Yeah, please.
So yeah, that being said, email us at castersguild@gmail.com. Let us know what stuff you want us to play and whether or not you want to be a player.
And Guild Decree. Anything after Enterprise, if I'm getting my timeline right, is not canon.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one. I like it.
Yeah,
it sounds like you put some real thought into it.
I'm talking TV shows. Because, I mean, I think that there may have been a Next Generation movie or two that came out.
Sure.
Also, Kelvinverse can be canon, but also another timeline. I think that anything after that TV show wise is, one, not only not canon, two, put there specifically with the intent to make up for Enterprise.
All right.
Looking at you, Spawn.
Join us on our Discord. That's where all the fun stuff is happening, including all these actual plays we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Hey, bye. See ya. Bye. Thinking of you. Bye.
Go volunteer True Dungeon.